Hi, I'm Teo Nikolakis with Audioholics, and in this episode, I'm going to do an unboxing of NAD's brand new M66 streaming DAC and preamp. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm excited to give you a bird's eye view of the unboxing of NAD's M66 streaming DAC and preamp. And what we're going to be doing with pairing this guy is we're going to be pairing it with a pair of the NAD M23 Class D stereo amplifiers. I'm going to use them in bridge mono, and I'm going to pair them with Revel Ultima 2 salons. I also want to give a shout out to Audio Advice, who's also helping to facilitate this review, also sent me a pair of these XLR balance cables to use with the review. So these are the Vovox Sonorus XLR cables. I've never used them before, but I really enjoyed them. I've been using them for about 3 months. They're fantastic braided cables. They sent me a stereo 1 meter pair. They use Nutric connectors. So if you're in the market and looking for some great XLR cables, these definitely fit the bill. So to talk a little bit about this guy right here, I'm really excited to put this in my review setup because this is really a unique preamp among stereo preamps. First of all, this has 4 independently calibrated subwoofer outputs, which is really unique. Secondly, this has one of my favorite DACs on the market. It's the ESS Sabre 9038. If you've seen my review of the Anthem AVM90, which is a great sounding Atmos unit, also uses the multi-channel version of the ESS Sabre 9038. We also have Dirac Live, and you can also upgrade it to Dirac Live with bass control to have 4 independent subwoofer calibrated with Dirac, which is really unique for a high-end stereo preamp. You also have Roon compatibility, and we have the BlueOS, or the BlueOS, but they like to call it BlueOS, a streaming platform, and there's a lot more built-in HDMI ARC connectivity. So what do you say we unbox this, give you a little flavor, so if this unit is something you're interested in, you can see how great it really is. All right, so let's open this guy up. And let's take a look. All right, as with most of the Masters series products, I have a double box. So let me show you here, and it's really cool. NAD does a nice job with the branding, so it has a nice black, and the cardboard gives it sort of this gold look. So again, you get really this high-end feel for it. So let's do this, lift the box up, and then get that out. I have an A-stock unit, so this is fresh off the production line. This is not another review unit, so this is right off the factory. And that way you can see here the M66. It comes plastic wrapped, so we'll remove that, which is a really nice touch. There you go, so you can get a feel and a flavor for it. All right. As part of the box thing, they give you a little bit of the feature set. You can see here a few things, and let's just unbox this now. All right. All right. No, it's not an Escher painting, but it's the top of the box right there. NAD does a really nice job with their Masters series. This is all recycled, but it's heavy duty, lots of protection. So the M66 and the M23s come packaged the same way. You have your accessory box that is on the top. And this guy right here contains a couple of things. First and foremost, because this is really almost like a computer, you do want to have a software update, so they just remind you as soon as you plug the unit in, make sure you connect to the network Wi-Fi, get the software updated. The second thing is it comes with a quick start guide here, and we'll go over this and you'll see there's some really cool options. The NAD manual, as usual, I've owned NAD products going back 30 years, so I'm very familiar with what a great job they do with the end user experience. And then here's some neat things. Number one, it's a really cool looking remote in the accessories. Great heft and weight. So it has a brushed aluminum finish, IR remote, very streamlined design. And if those of you who are familiar with NAD products going back about 30 years, you remember this is almost the way that their old preamp remotes used to be. They used to sit up and the IR was there. So if you were having an armchair, it's a really cool design. So nice job on keeping that. Second thing is you're going to find a USB drive, and this is very important. You don't lose this. This has some calibration files for Dirac, some Dirac curves on it, so you want to be aware of that. And then this is a really neat item. It has to do with the magnetic feet. So these guys right here will clamp onto the bottom of the unit, and then they will magnetically attach to the feet. So I'm just going to pull those out. I'm going to put them on top of the amplifier, the M23 right now, and just leave them there. And then I'll move this to the side. A few other things that are notices and warranties and what have you, and a really nice touch. They give you a cleaning cloth for the brushed aluminum. All right, and now for the M66 itself. This is not a super heavy unit, but it has unbelievable build quality associated with it. It comes in this beautiful black bag that's branded with NAD Masters all over it, as you can see. Has a nice string tie. And if you're wondering where the power cord is, it's right underneath in another box. Look at that. This thing's just beautiful. Brushed aluminum design, it matches the design of the amplifier. You can see the sides are gorgeous. The front here is an entire screen. So if you're playing any music with Roon or streaming, you get a beautiful display. This is also the menu, volume control, etc. The volume dial is like butter. It has a really great high-end 2-channel preamp feel to it. And then you have some vents on the top, which are really beautifully designed as well. The aesthetic is identical on how the M23 amplifiers are, so you have a consistent chassis throughout the units. And then what we'll do is I want to have you zoom in for a second over here. And I just want to close the box up so I can do that, because this is, I think, important to highlight a few things. A couple of really important things here for the M23 that you don't typically find on a reference grade preamp that I think is going to really fit to a lot of needs of enthusiasts who want a higher end unit that can do double duty both for 2-channel and also for home theater. So check this out. Number one is, starting from your left to right, NAD is unique in that they have 2 expansion slots. So they had the MCD1 with their older units. This has the newer generation, so there'll be expansion slots. In the past, this has typically been HDMI boards. You can expand to SPDIF, optical, balanced, you name it. So there are going to be some released here, so you have 2 slots for expansion. As you'd expect in a high-end 2-channel preamp, you have a moving coil and a moving magnet phono preamp right here, as well as a ground with a built-in phono preamp. You have your traditional analog inputs and outputs, and here's something that's unique that you typically don't find on a reference grade 2-channel preamp, and that's an HDMI eARC port. So what you can do here is you can plug this right into your television, into your Roon media server, or your Oppo UDP player, whatever your source device might be, and you can get full uncompressed audio over HDMI right here, so a 2.1 signal. The next thing to note is this is a network-enabled streamer, so you do have your RJ45, there's a USB connection here for connecting USB devices, you have your SPDIF, your digital inputs, and then you also have your analog line ins, then you have your optical Toslink, you have 2 of them. You do also have balanced analog inputs, and this is really where you get some of the unique features here. You get 4 balanced and unbalanced subwoofer outputs, each of which can be independently calibrated with Dirac. And what's really special about the unit here is you get the ability to have 4 different profiles. What's great about that is you can have one Dirac calibration, one profile specifically tailored for music. You can have another one that is tailored for media playback, movies, television shows. Therefore, you can have a little bit of an elevation in the bass response, and you can tailor that. So again, 4 different Dirac calibration profiles that you can do, plus the 4 independently calibrated subwoofers. And of course, you have your traditional balanced outputs for connecting this unit to an amplifier, your power toggle switch, and of course, your power. And should I neglect to say, you also have your ground here. So really a fantastic unit, really great. Let's look at the bottom here so you can see how gorgeous these feet are as well. So it has pointed feet on the bottom, and the magnetic cups that I mentioned a little while ago, they actually just connect like that magnetically. So that's a really cool feature. So as you're putting the unit down, just boom, 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 boom. We'll add it to the rack, just like that. I mentioned that it comes with Dirac. This is the microphone that the NAD comes with. If you really want to get the best possible Dirac calibration, you might want to get a U-mic microphone instead of the one that comes here, because that's what I'm going to be doing with my calibration as well. You'll see I just turned the unit on and automatically it's going into an upgrade. Here's a close-up of the remote, and it's also backlit, which is nice. So it has a nice blue backlight, which is nice and easy to see in the dark. You also have a 1/4 headphone output right here on the front. So in addition to traditional RJ45, you do also have Wi-Fi built in. So the unit comes with 2 antennas here. So here you go, you have your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so Wi-Fi and Bluetooth antennas built into the unit. Another really neat feature is capacitive touch power. The light here, the logo, illumines to tell you what the status is, and then the black pill shape on top is actually capacitive touch. All you have to do is touch it. It turns the unit on. Likewise, when the unit is on, all you have to do is touch the capacitive touch, and it turns off just like that. Very, very cool. In case you're wondering, the front screen is a touch screen as well, which is really nice. So you have full control, you have your inputs all available here, HDMI eARC, your Phono, your AES EBU digital, XLR, different line balance, Bluetooth, etc. You also have different presets that you can program in here, and then you have access to the full menu of the M66. We'll be going into some of this during the full review. Just know everything that's available here is also available on the BlueOS app on iOS or on Android. Fantastic match. So I'm excited to hook this up, let you know my thoughts. So stay tuned for my full review coming soon. And don't forget our Patreon channel at patreon.com/audioholics. We appreciate your support. You'll get direct access to us, you can ask questions, and you can even suggest topics for future programs.